The training simulation at the Galactic Medical Institute had gone horribly wrong. What should have been a routine emergency response drill had turned into a legitimate crisis when a cargo container broke loose in the zero-gravity chamber, striking instructor James Rodriguez with enough force to shatter the observation window. Medical student Chilara watched in frozen horror as the human instructor tumbled through the chamber, a 30-centimeter metal shard protruding from his left shoulder. Blood, that terrifying red fluid humans called blood, floated in spherical droplets around him. The wound was catastrophic. By every metric in her medical training, it was fatal. "He's going into shock," whispered Tefnik, a Korvaxian student whose species had spent millennia studying trauma medicine. "Look at the pallor, the perspiration. That's exsanguination. He has minutes at most." The 23 medical students stood paralyzed, their training evaporating in the face of actual mortality. They'd studied dozens of species, but humans were still new to the galactic community. The textbook said they were fragile, soft skin, single-chambered hearts, no redundant organs. This was a death sentence. Emergency protocols activated automatically. Containment fields sealed the chamber. Medical drones deployed. Professor Hicksdale's voice crackled over the intercom, "Students, remain calm. Emergency transport is inbound. Do not attempt. Turn off those damn alarms." James's voice cut through the chaos, remarkably steady despite the metal spike lodged in his body. Using his good arm, he maneuvered himself toward the chamber's emergency kit mounted on the wall. "Instructor Rodriguez." Chilara found her voice. "Please don't move. You're severely wounded. That penetration has compromised your circulatory system. You're losing blood pressure rapidly." James grabbed the emergency kit with his functioning hand and kicked off the wall, floating back toward the exit portal. Blood continued seeping around the shard, but he seemed more annoyed than dying. "Which one of you wants to learn something useful?" he asked, his voice tight with pain but clear. "This is a teaching hospital, right?" "Sir, you don't understand," Tefnik protested. "That injury is incompatible with life for your species. The database clearly states. Your database is wrong." James activated the portal release with his elbow. "Chilara, get in here and bring the gauze. The real stuff, not the nanomesh. We're doing this old school. But the metal fragment stays in for now. First rule of field medicine, don't remove the foreign object until you're ready to deal with what comes after." He gritted his teeth, sweat pouring down his face. "Now get in here. Class is in session." Chilara's training warred with her terror, but something in the human's eyes, pain, yes, but also absolute certainty, made her move. She cycled through the airlock with the medical supplies. "Good," James nodded. "Now listen carefully. Humans don't die easy. We've got clotting factors, pressure compensation, and spite. Lots of spite." He guided her hands to apply pressure around the wound. This is a bad day. Fatal would be through the heart or severing the spinal cord. This just means I'm gonna need physical therapy. The blood loss. I've got 5 liters. I can spare one and still argue with administrators." He winced as she applied the gauze. "Pack it tight. There you go." Over the next 20 minutes, James talked Chilara through stabilizing him, explaining each step with the casual tone of someone discussing lunch rather than their own impalement. When the emergency medical team finally arrived, they found the wound packed, pressure stabilized, and James giving an impromptu lecture on human trauma physiology to the stunned students watching through the window. 3 days later, James was back teaching, his arm in a sling, showing off the fresh surgical scars. "Any questions?" he asked his class. Chilara raised her hand. "How did you stay conscious?" "The pain alone should have." "Evolution," James smiled. "Humans learned to keep moving with injuries that would kill most species. Had to. Earth's a mean teacher." He tapped the bandage on his shoulder. This is just homework.